Welcome to Biology 1440. This is the Natural Selection Lab. Please watch the video on the Hardy-Weinberg equation before you jump into the homework for this lab, okay? Now, this lab has a handout that includes an answer sheet at the end. You'll turn that answer sheet in for part of your assignment. And pay attention to any further instructions your instructor may have over the assignment as well. This is just an overview. Now, this is the handout. It has information on the Hardy-Weinberg equation, how it works. And what we're going to do is we're going to model evolution this week using a koi population. And then we're going to apply Hardy-Weinberg to that population. So there's a scenario here where these folks are raising koi. We're going to watch how that population evolves over time. We're going to do two basic experiments at least. One in which the koi population does not have any strong natural selection pressures or strong migration pressures, so no gene flow. And then we're going to do another experiment where there is a natural selection pressure, meaning the white fish will be eaten by predators more often than the mottled or the orange fish. So these fish come in three phenotypes: white, mottled, which is orange and white, and orange. And they come, and those phenotypes correspond to genotypes. So homozygous recessive is white, heterozygous is mottled, and homozygous dominant is orange. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to this website listed right here, and you're going to follow these instructions. You're going to simulate 50 generations of this koi population breeding, and you're going to answer these questions on the answer sheet. Then you're going to run another experiment, and you're going to record your observations there. And then there's a couple of other things you're going to do involving interpreting data using the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Okay, so let's look at this website and just how it works. Here it is. What you do is you scroll down to Model 1, PopGen Fish Pond, and you click Launch. You can read this background and do a tutorial. That would be good for you, but I'm just going to go straight to Run Experiments. So here's my model koi population, and this is the basic setup when you start, and we're not really going to fiddle with these settings for the first generation. This is a generation that does not have any major selective pressures. Now, the initial population size is 200, carrying capacity is 200, which means some will die as they're born, so that may change frequencies just due to the random nature of who lives and who dies. Our initial proportion of the orange allele, or R as it says here, is 0.5. So for Hardy-Weinberg, the alleles are P and Q, right? So whatever you call the allele, like R could be red, right? But when you convert that to the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, the dominant allele is P and the recessive allele is Q. And so keep that in mind when you look at the Hardy-Weinberg equation. But we start off at 0.5, 0.5 for both P and Q, the red allele and the white allele. And then we're going to have no migration here. We're going to have no mutations taking place. And everyone has the same fitness, meaning everyone has the same ability to have babies with each other. They're likely to breed with any other member of the population, and that's what this assortative mating is. That means orange fish breed with white fish, or orange fish, or mottled fish. No one's picking a mate based on coloration. So that's our initial experiment. When you click on Go Data, you can see the populations changing. And what you would do is you would want to record the first generation's worth of data. So to do that, you click the reset button, which resets you to generation 0. And then you hit pause right away, and then you record this information on your data sheet. Then you would go ahead and hit play, and you will fast forward this to like 10 times normal speed until this gets to generation 50. Once it does, you would pause it, and you would record that new set of information to see how the population has changed. Then what you would do to go to the next generation, where we're going to introduce natural selection, you would go back to the Design tab here, and you're going to change genotype relative fitness. You're going to make RR have a relative fitness of 0.5, meaning it's twice as likely to be eaten by a predator, basically, or twice as likely to not leave descendants, okay? And then what you would do is you could go back to the data, you could click the reset button, and you could start the scenario again. So that's how this works. And I encourage you, and maybe your instructor will require you to try other parameters as well. But the way I have it laid out on the website right now is just with a control group that does not have any massive selective pressures except for maybe genetic drift, random change. And then I have another experiment set up where you're going to look at how having white be less fit than orange and less fit than mottled, how that might affect the population over time. So you can fill out that worksheet and turn it in as per your instructor's instructions.